Our opinion will be instrumental in their election of the new divine.
They want Leliana and Cassandra as candidates.
The Inquisition may not be invited to their vote, but our actions will certainly influence the Grand Clerics. To sit on the Sunburst throne, a candidate should have grace, charm, and a will of solid steel. Cassandra may lack the first two, but unless you can think of someone better, she is the strongest choice.
What would your ideal divine do with her power?
The most important thing, of course, is the restoration of the Circles and the Templar Order. The institutions that have protected Thedas for ages must be rebuilt, and the malcontents utterly crushed. We cannot allow anarchists to threaten the lives of the innocent. After we have restored sanity to the world, there will be time to address voices of dissent.
Where can we find candidates outside of the Chantry? There must be someone other than Leliana or Cassandra.
The Chantry is already desperate. They would not look to unordained women if they had any choice. You may have better luck searching the halls of the Imperial Court. There are many women serving the Empire who have the necessary presence and acumen.
Actually, I think you fit the criteria perfectly, Vivienne.
Me? My dear Inquisitor, Thedas will never accept a mage as divine.
A few words to the right people and we can ensure no one objects to you taking the Sunburst throne.
You do have a point, and a modicum of talent for the game. If the clerics could be persuaded to consider me, and it's not impossible, I could hardly refuse now, could I? We will have to be very mindful of everything we do and say, for the Conclave certainly is doing the same. If they look to the Inquisition to provide a sign of the Maker's will, we will have to give them the right one. I always have time for you, my dear.
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Our dear Lord Dorian is very sure of himself, isn't he? Let's hope he does. I always have time for you, my dear.
What are your...
I don't know what to make of Solus. I find that... I always have time for you, my dear.
What...
Sarah is certainly a colorful character. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
What do you...
Whether Cole is a spirit or a demon, I always have time for you, my dear.
What...
I admire Cassandra's determination. My dear, did you need me for something?
What are your...
Whether Cole is I always have time for you, my dear.
What are your...
So Varric was spying on us all this time. I'm impressed. I never would have taken him for a player of the game. I'll have to watch him more. I always have time for you, my dear. Our dear Lord... Inquisitor, what can I do for you? I find that... I always have time for you, my dear.
Do you think that you and I might someday...
Of course not, my dear. There's no advantage to such an arrangement. I always have time for you, my dear.
Do you think...
That's charming, but you'll have to keep working on your technique. My dear, did you need me for something? My dear, you are delightful, but that... My dear, did you need me for something?
Do you think...
Of course not, my...